Hello and welcome to Pilates. Today we are going to be using a mini band along with our mat. Now this one isn't too thick, we're going to be working with it mainly around our ankles. If you haven't got one of these, please do not worry. You can do this all without the band, or you can maybe think of a substitute you could use, maybe an old pair of tights. Just make sure here that you're not going to be too restricted, so nothing like the kind of thick booty bands that you see, that's going to be too much. So just make sure here guys that you've got some movement within your band. We are also going to start today off standing. So if you just want to take a step into your band, you're going to loop your band around your feet here, and we will get going. So just tracking your feet underneath your hips here, toes are facing forward, knees are soft, making sure that those hip bones are level, and just allow your knees to have a soft bend in them here, so we're not locking back or gripping onto any tension in the legs. Squeeze the shoulders up to the ears, dropping them back, and again this time inhale to squeeze up, and exhale to roll back and down. One more here. We're going to take the hands to the side of the head, opening up the chest nice and wide. We take an inhale here to lift up and out of our waist, take a side bend, and exhale here to close off the elbows. Inhale to open, exhale into the center, other side. A few more of those reps. Just remember here guys, take this in your own time, yeah? Just use me as a guide, but let the tempo of your breath conduct the speed. So really getting in tune into our body, making that mind, body, breath connection. Drowning out any noise, or if you've had a busy day today, just take this class just to center yourself, mind, body, spirit. Coming into the center, drop the hands down to the side. We're going to take an inhale here, and on the inhale we're going to send the hips back, reaching the fingertips out, and an exhale to come back in. So inhale to come back into your squat, weight into the heels, reaching out through the fingertips. Exhale to press. So here guys, just keeping an eye on those knees, make sure they haven't suddenly knocked in. If you need to set them out a tiny bit wider than the hips, please do if you're struggling to keep the knees in line with the toes. So this is to activate the glutes, feel a little bit warmer. Notice here guys, going for a long diagonal line in your squat, so you've got hands, shoulders, hips, waking up the back of the body as well as we do this. On your next one here, you're going to stay low in your squat. Exhale to hold. Inhale here to circle one arm back. Exhale back into your squat. Inhale to circle the other arm back. Two more sets here. One more on each side. So here guys, mobilizing the spine, legs getting nice and warm, coming up to standing here. Just place the hands onto your hips. We're just going to take some leg lifts. So extending one leg out to the side, we're just going to lift and tap, little lift and tap. Now if you have got the band here around the feet, you're going to feel the activation there in the glutes. If you haven't got the band, this is more of a balance challenge, so we're just making sure our weight is in the right place. Really hard to balance if you're kind of sitting back in your hips, weight is back, so just bringing the weight up and over here, lightly lifting and tapping the foot. You have for 4 more here, just breathing naturally. And changing sides, extending the other foot. Just be wary here as well guys, that that knee is nice and soft, so not locking into the leg. You have for 4 more. Last 2. And last 1. Make your way to the end of your mat, shuffling backwards. And from here we're going to go into our roll downs. So once again, making sure that the feet are hip distance apart. Hands are down by your side. You inhale to prepare, and then on the exhale, you're going to drop your chin to your chest. Slowly start to roll down the body. Knees can stay soft, and then we inhale here to start to roll up. And exhale. Rolling down. Now working through each vertebra bone at a time. You might feel a slight pull on your hamstrings there at the bottom. Just be mindful here, guys, that your head is the first thing to move and the very last thing to come up. And then on our next roll down, we're going to make our way down to our mat. So coming to hands and knees here. We inhale here to prepare, and then on the exhale, sit yourself onto your heels, reach the hands forward, palms flat on the floor. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your hips off of the floor here, coming here to a half plank. So here, guys, remember to take your hips with you, and then on the exhale, sitting yourself back. The next level for this exercise is to come to a full plank, lifting the knees off of the floor, and exhale to sit back. So just finding your flow here, guys. Hips back, and then back into the plank, knees on or off the floor. Your next option is to keep the knees off of the floor. Oh, I have a stretchy mat, which makes things even harder. So if you are going for this third option, just making sure here that the hips don't lift off. Sometimes I see people taking this option, but our hips are up here, yeah, which doesn't really give the desired effect. So do try to keep the knees low to the floor. You can mix up these options. You might want to do a couple in that third option. Sit yourself back. Just a couple more. And last one, you're going to hold your plank either on your knees or on your toes here for 5 breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth, pressing the mat away here, nice long spine. Make sure you haven't dropped the head, belly button up and away from your mat. And last breath here. Lower the knees down onto the floor. Just replace the hands so they're underneath your shoulders. And from here, we're going to take let's do legs first of all. So you're going to extend your right leg away from you here, lifting it off the floor. You're going to let that leg draw away from you here so it's on a diagonal, and then your body is going to lean to the opposite side. Coming back, knee back in. Other leg, extend away from you, out to the side, lean away. Back into the center, coming back in with the breath. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, extend the leg away. Inhale to lean. Exhale, return. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, lift the back leg. Inhale, lean. Exhale, center. Inhale, return. Now, option here is to do the arm and leg together. So arm's going to do the same thing. Keep that breath pattern going. Exhale to lift. Inhale to reach. Exhale, center. Inhale to return. So guys, this exercise is to get those abdominals fired up as well as the glutes. So just kind of getting into the start of our main section here. That band here is making things a little bit harder, so keep pressing the band away. Make sure here that your hand comes back underneath your shoulder each time. Just one more on each side here. And bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, curling the toes under. We're going to take an inhale here for a cat-cow. So on the inhale, you're going to drop your belly button down to the mat, take your gaze forwards, curving, arching the back, and then on the exhale, tuck the chin, taking your gaze in between your knees. Inhale to look forwards, and exhale to tuck. Your option here, as you take your tuck, you can hover the knees off the floor. Just a little hover. Really thinking about making those lovely curves and arches with the back. Just a couple more here. And last one. And then from here, guys, just sit yourself onto your heels, flip the palms up to the ceiling just to release the wrists, lower the head down to the mat and just take a couple of breaths here. From here, you're going to lie yourself all the way down onto your front, bring one cheek down to your mat, placing your hands on your back here, one hand on top of the other. We're going to do the double leg kick, which is a classic Joseph Pilates move. So I will just demonstrate for you. We inhale to prepare, and then you take 2 short pumps of the heels in towards your hips. Inhale here to lift yourself up and away from your mat, extend the hands, arms, and then lower down, changing what palm is on front, and repeat. So you have a back extension there in the middle. So the purpose of this exercise is to strengthen the back extensors, also to encourage strength in the hamstrings and length in the quads. There's quite a lot going on here coordination wise, so don't worry if it takes you a few reps to get it into your body. You need to imagine your fingertips lengthening down towards your toes. Nice easy transition, head back down to the mat. Going to that last one. And then from here, you're just going to flip yourself round onto your backs. Ready to do some abdominal work here. So to start off with, take a nice big full body stretch here, extend the hands above the head. I'm going to shift myself away from my radiator. And we take an inhale here, and then on the exhale, your arms are going to swoop all the way down. You're going to hug your knees into your chest. And then an inhale here to reach away. Now if you can here, bring the nose up to meet the knees. Next option here is the feet are just going to hover off of the floor. So you're really going to start to feel those abdominals starting to kick in. You've got some pressure to the outside of your legs into that band. And lots of options to work with. And last one here. Lower the head down onto the floor. Extend the legs here if you can, or wherever you are. Legs can still be bent, but just try to lift the band up towards the ceiling. From here, we inhale to prepare. On the exhale, you're going to tap the toes down to your mat. Inhale to lift. We are going to take an inhale here to tap the toes and an exhale to lift. Inhale, tap the toes, exhale, lift. This is your option 1. Your option 2 is we're going to lower the feet down to 45 degrees. Inhale, lengthen the band, exhale to return. Inhale here, lower down, exhale, return. Now, especially if your legs are staying long here, try to apply a little bit of pressure to the outside of your band so we start to get those legs working. So working the adductors here Just a couple more. Last one. Lower the band down, bring the knees into your chest, maybe take a little rock from side to side, and then we are going to go into the bicycle. So one leg at a time. So let's start off maybe with the right leg here, flexing the feet. We extend 1 foot away, and then we change sides here. So here, working with the resistance of the band, and then if you can here, bring the nose up to the knee. Keep it here to change, and change, and change. Your option here, once again, progression is to release the knee. So hands, palms are up to the ceiling. Legs are working extra hard here with that band. You have the 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Ooh. Hug the knees into your chest. Oh, get your breath back. Sometimes we hold our breath with that one, which we absolutely shouldn't do, but it is a tricky exercise. From here, you can either rock side to side, or we're going to go into rocking like a ball. So hands behind the knees. Inhale here to bring the knees towards you. Exhale to come up, and inhale back. Exhale up. So here guys, you're just trying to hover the toes off of the floor if you can. Keep that ball nice and tight. Last couple here. And last one. Lengthen the feet away from you. To go into a nice forward fold here. Now if you really struggle in this position, just stop the video and grab a pillow for you to sit underneath, just to lift those hips away from the mat. We're going to reach the hands away from us here. We're taking inhale to prepare. On the exhale, taking a forward fold. Inhale to roll up, and exhale. So feeling a lovely stretch down those hamstrings. If you want to hold it at the bottom for a couple of breaths here, you can do, just to really embrace that stretch. And last one. And from here, you need to move your band up your legs. So however you want to do that, bend the knees, shifting the band upwards. The band is now going to go just above the knees here. We're next going to find ourselves side lying. We're going to do side lying triceps. So to do that one, your knees are just in front of you here. Feet can be slightly away from the hips here, so they're in line with the knees. Lie yourself down. Your underneath arm here is going to wrap around the waist, and then your hand, just allow it here to kind of be in line with your eyebrows here. So this is your option 1. We inhale to prepare. On the exhale, you're going to press the mat away. Inhale to slowly lower down. Now to make this harder, you bring the hand lower down, so closer towards you. Make sure here the knees aren't too close, because that's going to restrict your movement. And here, what we're looking to do is not plop down to your mat. So lowering down with control. Easier said than done, I know. Don't hold your breath here. Exhale to press away. Inhale to lower. Just a couple more. Last one here. Remove the hand from the waist, place it down onto your elbow. So we are here on our elbow. Here, just make sure the heels are now underneath your hips. Knees are together, hand can be on the hip for now. We inhale to prepare. On the exhale, just going to open that top knee. Inhale to lower. Exhale, open and lower down. So we're doing our clams here. Heels are gluing together here, just opening up that top leg, lowering down with control, making sure there's no movement in that hip. How is our underneath side doing here? It's quite hard to slack too much in that underneath side when you're on your elbow, but just be wary that we haven't suddenly folded. We're going to add on a side plank. So when the knees are together, let's release the arm here. And we're going to lift the hips up and lower down. Exhale, open. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. All with control in your own time. Please don't feel like you have to rush this. Stick with this, guys, or your next option, so your level, where are we at? Level 2 here. Keep the hips lifted and we are opening that knee with the arm lifting here. So you're just kind of adding those two exercises together, or you're keeping it separate. Whew. Glutes on fire. Your core is working here. You have 3 more or 6 more of the add-ons, wherever you're at. And then we're just going to pulse that top leg here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower it down. Twizzle yourself over to the second side, lying yourself all the way down here, starting off with our triceps. So you can give that hip a little rest for a second here, and we're back to arms. So wrapping your underneath hand around the waist, lowering yourself down. Hand, you can start off slightly higher up towards the head. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Press away. Inhale to lower. Exhale, press. Might want to move that hand slightly further down. This is a tough exercise, guys. You're kind of lifting up half of your body weight here with just one arm. So if you find it hard and you need to take more breaks, don't be too hard on yourself. You can always come back to this video when you're feeling stronger to see how your strength has improved. So take as many breaks as you need to. Come into that last one. Release your hand onto the elbow here, hand on the hips, heels in line with the hips here as well. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, open that knee. Inhale back in. Exhale to open. Inhale back in. Now the evil thing about this side is that this glute is kind of already awake from the last exercise we did, so keep breathing, power on through. This is the very last exercise, so let that spur you on. From here, ready to add our side lift. So reach the arm up, lifting the hips, lower down. We are exhaling open, inhale lower, exhale lift, inhale lower. Lowering the hips down with control here. Next option, if you want it, you are going to keep the hips lifted. The arm continues to reach as we come back, lifting that top leg. You're doing so well, guys. Six more sets. 6 sets of these, or 3 more sets of the option before. Otherwise, I think we'll be in a bit of trouble. And last set here. Ooh, lowering down, press the mat away, or just release the neck. Shift that band away from the legs here. We're going to finish off with a seated stretch. So if you want to perch on your pillow here just to give yourself a little bit more mobility in the hips, then you can do. Starting off here, one leg out, other foot towards the leg, and we're just going to take a forward fold towards the knee, nose to knee here. Nice and heavy here with the head. Taking some deeper breaths here. And then on your next inhale, walk your hands up your leg, step that foot over to the other side, hugging the knee in. This might be enough for you here. If you want to tap the underneath foot in here, then you can. Try to sit up nice and tall, try not to get too slumped. So this is to strengthen, to stretch out our hip here, stretching it out the glute. And then from here, just allow that foot to lift off the floor. Just going to take a relax forward. Now, I am not flexible in this position. So for me, this is about as far as I can go, and I can really feel that hip stretch because I teach a lot of bar. So you've got strong glutes, but a little bit tight. So if that is you, you might be the same. But if not, you might be able to get those knees to touch. If you do a lot of yoga, you've probably got a bit more flexibility here than I have. But we're just, wherever we are, we're going to breathe into this stretch. Last breath here. And then taking that top leg, extend it out to the side, foot in towards the inner thigh, walking down the leg here, head nice and heavy into our hamstring stretch on our second side. Last breath. And then as you take that next inhale, start to walk the hands up the legs, crossing that leg over, hug the knee in, either staying here or cross the underneath heel in towards you, sitting up nice and tall in your twist. And then here, release that foot from off the floor. Start to let the nose lower down towards the knees. Just breathing into that stretch here. Coming to that last breath. Slowly coming out of that, we're just going to do a little hip opener, knee release. Take the hands behind you, birthing position here. Drop one knee down and change to the other side. Just a couple more in your own time. Whew. And just come to whatever position is comfortable to finish off. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know how you got on, what bands you're using, and how you're finding them. And keep an eye out as well for this week's Pilates and this week's bar class. Thank you.